Good evening, everybody, or should I say, Привет, мой дружи. Uh, Start with the air alerts, and there's a lot of them. Kleminski just started 6 minutes ago. Zhotomir, 2 hours 42 minutes. Cherkasky, 11 minutes. Kiev Oblast, 7 hours 27 minutes. Kiev City, 6 hours 40 minutes. Chernihiv, 4 hours 29 minutes. Sumy, might as well say 13 hours. Poltava, 4 hours 12 minutes. Kharkiv, 1 hour 48 minutes. Donetsk, 26 minutes. And, it goes without saying, but I'll point it out anyways. This air alert started at 11:48 p.m. Ukraine time. So middle of the night while everybody's at home sleeping. They're not after military targets, they're harassing civilians. Operational information as of 10 p.m. the 6th of November. My birthday was yesterday. That's my birthday. So let's find out what Russia did on my birthday. The defense forces are directing efforts to disrupt the execution of the enemy's invaders' offensive plans and exhaust their combat potential. Since the beginning of the day, there have been 145 combat clashes. The enemy launched one rocket attack with 3 rockets, 35 airstrikes, and used 90 glide bombs in those airstrikes. They used 513 kamikaze drones and carried out 3,125 artillery attacks on the positions of our troops. Russian terrorists stormed the positions of Ukrainian units 6 times near Storitska and Voschansk in the Kharkiv direction. Estimated losses of the enemy in this direction amounted to 69 occupiers killed and wounded, a destroyed artillery system, 28 drones, 3 units of automobiles, 1 unit of special equipment, and also damaged an artillery system and 4 automobiles. And of course, Storitsi, Voschansk, Russia's still trying to make advances in this area, but Ukraine is holding them to this little enclave that they've been able to take over. A little small village, but mostly farmland. In the Kupiansk direction, the enemy attacked 8 times near Kurikivka, Petropavlivka, and Gruvlavyakivka. Okay, yeah. At this time, one battle is ongoing. The position of Ukrainian defenders in the areas of Drusilivka, Gurivka, Torsky, and Terny have been stormed 10 times by the Russian troops in the fast day in the Lomonsky direction. Oh, they kind of pushed them together, so there are still 5 enemy attacks ongoing there. So, Kurishkivka, they haven't pushed very far, but they are still trying. Lomonsky direction, Rivka, Terny, Torsky. So they're trying to push all along this front to get back to the Oskil River. Soviet's direction, our soldiers stopped 3 enemy attempts to improve tactical positions near Bilohorivka. 1 enemy attack continues. Bilohorivka is right here in the corner. and has been holding out a long time against Russian advances. Near Chasiv Yar and Kernivka, 2 attempts by the invaders to advance in the Kramatorsk direction ended in failure. In the Torets direction, the occupiers stormed the Torets, Delivka, and Sudarbivnivka districts 4 times today. The enemy had no success. The battle continues in Toretsk. Chasiv Yar, Toretsk, Sudarbivnivka, or Kalinivka, on Sudarbivnivka, and fighting still going in Toretsk. Toretsk is a major city. Well, not a major city, but it is a stronghold that Ukraine needs to hold on to, along with Chasiv Yar, Pokrovsk, Kharkova. So, yeah, a lot of important battles are coming up. Konstantinivka is right here. Toretsk covers the south. Chasiv Yar covers the northern approach. And it's basically these 2 cities holding back Russia from getting towards Konstantinivka. Pokrovsk, we'll go into that in a minute, but this is the border of Donetsk Oblast. So Pokrovsk would be one of the major cities for them to actually achieve the goal Russia set out of taking over Donetsk. If I zoom out a little here, so the area that they say they wanted to free from the Donetsk People's Republic, they don't even control half of it. And that's why Russia is pushing so hard here and in these areas, because they want to improve their positions in the entire oblast, not just stop where the lines are. In the Pokrovsk direction, the invaders carried out a total of 38 assaults and offensive actions during the day. The Russian occupiers are most active in the districts of Promyemny, Lviska, and Selodov. 12 skirmishes in this direction are still ongoing. And we were just talking about Pokrovsk, Selodov, Petrivka, Lysivka. So really pushing in this area, trying to get south of Pokrovsk and control this rail line, essentially. It's not easy fighting, and it's a dangerous situation, as anything is in war, really. But Kharkiv, Kharkova. Next. The enemy is intensively attacking our units in the Kharkiv direction. At this time of day, there are 52 attacks. Terrorists tried to advance in the districts of Ilanivka, Kremenna-Balka, Novoselodivka, Novodonivka, Maximilianivka, Antonivka, Katernivka, and currently fighting is ongoing in 28 locations. Wow. Katernivka, Antonivka is right next to it. Maximilianivka, Ilanivka, Novoselodivka, and Novodonivka. So Russia is not stopped pushing this area. They're trying to close this gap and take over this pocket. Two skirmishes are ongoing near Tvrdovi in the Vermitz direction. During the current day, the aggressor stormed the front of our defenses near Tvrdovi and Maximivka 6 times. Tvrdovi, Maximivka. Yes, Russia is advancing here, but they're giving up fields that are hard to defend to save troops, where Russia's trading troops to take the ground. This is where I think the slowdown is going to happen now. There's defense lines here, and I believe the defense lines are going to be along here and at Kodakova. Some interesting battles are happening in Kodakova, and especially along this road right here. There's videos out there. I wish I could show them, but they are not very YouTube friendly. Let's see. The enemy's attempts to advance in the direction of Novoandrivka in the Orahiv direction ended without results. 3 enemy attacks were repulsed in the Dnieper direction. The enemy was unsuccessful. Go over here to Orahiv. And, oh, I forgot the name of the town already. I'm sorry. Novoandrivka. Okay. Novoandrivka is this settlement here. So they switch from attacking in this area to trying this area. And of course, in the Dnieper direction, they're talking about this entire line here. But most of the attacks, I assume, are in this general area. The operation of the defense forces of Ukraine in the Kursk region continues. Today, in total, Ukrainian defenders repelled 7 attempts by the occupiers to dislodge our units from their positions. First, Kursk Oblast is here, and this is the important crossroads at the moment. Russia is trying to maintain control of those crossroads. Ukraine's trying to push Russia back away from them to maintain supply lines to the north and towards Koronova. That's all there is for today on that part. Today we celebrate the Ukrainian soldiers from the 126th Separate Territorial Defense Brigade, the 3rd Operational Brigade, named after Colonel Petro Bolobchan, of the National Guard, who steadfastly hold back the onslaught of overwhelming enemy forces. Let's beat the enemy and bring our victory closer. Glory to Ukraine, and of course, Heroям Slava. Jump right to Zelensky's official. Now, some of the buildings that were destroyed overnight by Russia, probably be getting new ones tomorrow of stuff like this, but scroll all the way back up, and this is all Zelensky's speech towards the European leaders summit in Budapest. There's no translation of it, and it's, as you can see, a long one, so I'm not going to read it. However, while he was in Budapest, our Ukrainian children, despite the war, life far from home, maintain a connection with Ukraine, continue to study and develop, and this is possible thanks to such institutions as the Ukrainian-Hungarian School in Budapest. Today I met and talked with her students, young Ukrainians who remember their homeland, study its language and culture, and I believe will definitely return home after the victory. And there is a video, and I'm going to play this for you guys.
Доброго дня. Раді бачити вас в двомовній україно-угорській середній школі і гімназії. Написали пісню про українську мову і музику, і слова.
Рідна, ти як пісня, звучиш в серці знов і знов. Україна – це не мрія, це реальність.
Ви молодці, що не забуваєте Україну. Ви українці, маленькі такі українці, але...
I just wanted to stop it to point out he looks 10 years younger here than he did in this speech in at the meeting. This is the amazing things that kids do for us old people. Yeah.
Всі маленькі такі українці, але будете дуже дорослими, міцними. Дуже радий, що ви все пам'ятаєте, вивчаєте і обов'язково після перемоги повернетесь. Так? Слава Україні!
Найближчим часом отримують гарну освіту і повернуться в Україну класними спеціалістами, багатомовними, ті, які будуть відроджувати Україну. А ми всі нашому президенту...
Слава Україні!
За школу!
So yeah, that was you know, when you think about it, if those kids had stayed in Ukraine, how many of them would have been deported by Russia? It's just a thought that pops in my head as I watch that. You know, more about the individual meetings, but you know, oh, I wish I would show his face here, but you know, compare the look. Oh,
Звучиш в серці знов і на це.
compare that face with. Tell me what you think he'd rather be doing. You know, just more meetings in Budapest. A lot of talk. Met with the NATO Secretary General. Talked about the battlefield, the North Korean military. We also talked about implementation of the decisions of Washington NATO Summit, in particular about strengthening of air defense, investments in Ukrainian production of shells, drones, and long-range weapons. This, in my opinion, is where we need to go forward with, is internal production by Ukraine of the shells they need, the drones, and the long-range missiles. If Ukraine's producing them in country, you don't have to worry about aid packages. You don't have to worry about who's president and who they're going to side with. Ukraine has the production and supply themselves. And I know France was involved in this. A couple others were involved. I believe Sweden and Finland. I'm not sure. But there has been large investments inside of Ukraine by European companies to produce military goods in country for Ukraine. So, in my opinion, that's the best news that's coming out recently. Let's go over some of the other stories they have. Presentation of a manual for weapons manufacturers, the Gunsmith's Guide, by the team of technical forces of Ukraine took place in Kyiv. It seems like such a silly thing, but man, I'd like to have one of those books after the war when it's not classified anymore. There's a new survey that allows people in the army to change units. So they're trying to make it as easy as possible for soldiers to be with friends and where they want to serve. Stupid fly. Airborne assault troops and the Navy and Sustained Command have become leaders in the use of Army Plus in the processing of electronic reports. So, like, they get all their AARs and reports digitally. Well, not all of them, but for the most part, digitally. And that is really streamlining the information flow for the Ukrainian army. That's an example that I think the U.S. Army should look into and take away from Ukraine. Not take it away, but learn from Ukraine. I'll go into that one in a minute. Let me pull up today's losses for total combat losses of the enemy as of November 7th, 2028 or 2024. Day 988. An additional 1,400 personnel casualties today. 10 tanks, 20 APVs, 24 artillery systems, 42 UAVs, 78 vehicles, and 8 special equipment. There is a video from I'll see if I can find it. It's the official ZCU Telegram channel. Definitely not that one. Not that one. Can't show that one. Okay, let me just show you guys what I'm hunting through. Official ZCU. A lot of drones being dropped. Air alerts a couple hours ago. And like when videos are like this on Telegram, I know I can't show those at all. This is the attack on Zaporizhia. Yeah, in Zaporizhia, 40 people have already been injured as a result of the attack by the Rashists. OVA, the drone. The youngest victim is only 4 months old. 30 victims are in the hospital. Their condition is assessed as moderate. Just somebody's home. You know, show me a weapon or a military purpose of this building, and it's somebody's home. And this is what Russia is bombing. You know, not army barracks, not troop emplacements, residential buildings and houses. Oh, then it goes back to this. This is the video. These are 2 TAWS systems that got blown up today. And that's the second one getting popped. So those 2 systems together are about $30 million worth of Russian equipment that went boom today. There's other videos in here I'd love to be able to show you guys, but it gets pretty graphic. Yeah, 3-0. 15 million in pop. TAWS 1 systems, basically MLRS. So it'll pop up tomorrow, I believe, with the daily update. But it's always good to see those It's always good to see those MLRSs get blown up, because they are dangerous things and they are expensive things. The mass media news for today, and of course, it's Trump and more Trump. And yeah, Putin praising Trump, saying he's a manly and courageous person. It's ridiculous, but it's funny. Praising Trump's manly response to attempted assassination. Yeah. Gives reasons why I didn't phone Trump and congratulate him, but yeah, mostly fluff piece I don't want to read. Yeah, Zelensky tells Europe he needs weapons, not talk of concessions. So, one day after the election, and already you must concede land. See if I can find one without a paywall. Zelensky has said it would be unacceptable and suicidal for Europe to ask Ukraine to make concessions to Russia in exchange for a potential peace deal. The Ukrainian president joined some 40 European leaders today in Budapest. The meeting was hosted by Hungary's Prime Minister Orban who has broken with EU and NATO policy to push for an immediate peace. Basically, it would amount to a capitulation on Moscow's terms. Some of you present here were strongly advocating for Ukraine to make concessions. Zelensky said, it's unacceptable for Ukraine and suicidal for all of Europe. So basically, political play by Orban. Zelensky also said we all want the war to end. It is tragic, but if it will be very fast, it will be a loss for Ukraine. When he was asked about Trump's pledge to end the war in a day, well, it's been a day. Why isn't the war over? Trump winning with the pro-peace camp has grown enormously. Yeah, no, it hasn't. Concessions to Russia is not a peace. It's a delay of hostilities, if anything. Okay, we're not talking about victory and defeat, but about ceasefire, human lives, and stopping the destruction. Orban said, there are more people now with this perspective in the Western world than there were before the U.S. election. Zelensky, when asked if this was true, responded, no. One of the reasons why I started studying Ukraine back in like the late 90s was there was a story about them sending an envoy to Byzantine, to the Byzantium Church, which became the Orthodox Catholic Church, or however you want to say that. And the head honcho in Byzantium asked, "Are you guys Vikings?" And the Ukrainian envoys replied, "I don't think so." And that reminds me very much of that response, and it just makes me smile. Zelensky went on to say, I believe that it is very dangerous for Ukrainians to have a ceasefire now and then discuss peace later. A ceasefire is a preparation for Russia to ruin and destroy our sovereignty. A simple ceasefire mentioned by some leaders here in Budapest equals an excellent model for Russia. Putin said it was useless to put pressure on us, but we are always ready to negotiate with full consideration of mutual legitimate interest. We have been calling for this, and we are calling on all participants. Zelensky asked for sufficient weapons to Ukraine so his troops could put pressure on Russia. Orban, who has blocked EU sanctions on Russia and held up financial support from Brussels to Kyiv, said Ukraine could not rely on future aid from the bloc. Yeah. EU, you're the guys that let him in. People of Europe are less and less ready to finance a war they don't understand the purpose of. Nobody can guarantee it will be effective, that sanctions will be effective, The U.S. election closed a chapter and opened a new one. Yeah, this is Orban saying basically Russian propaganda. One of the ways that Russia gets their supplies that they need is through Orban. He's not interested in Europe's security. Ask Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, or Poland what they think about it. That's the thing. People do not realize. I wish there was a way to draw on this. If there is, I don't know. But Russia wants to get to this gap, and this gap because there's a river that runs up through here. If Russia can reach here and take over Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia, that's what they want, to feel safe and secure in their defense. That's their security concerns. So when Putin talks about security, he's talking about going out to this gap here between the mountains and the Black Sea and the Baltic Sea in here. That's what Russia wants for security, including Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia. He's already pushed into Georgia to control the gaps there. Of course, the Chechen War. He has this mountain range here to block, then the sea, then the desert here to block in Uzbekistan. Kazakhstan's essentially a puppet government. And that controls like the gap here and the gap here. The desert takes care of the other one. The other gap is up here. And that's basically China. So, yeah, Russia needs these two gaps to feel secure. Well, three. This gap, this one here, and then the Baltic Sea. That's where he wants to go. That's where Russian security is needed. So, you people in the EU, remember, you're not safe if you're west of this line. The line's here right now. Keep the line here. Don't let it go here. Any other news besides Trump? Let's see. More news about the attacks in the Caspian Sea. Why Zelensky may welcome Donald Trump's victory. And behind a paywall, but let's see. On paper, Donald Trump's return to the White House looks like a Ukrainian's worst nightmare. America's incoming president has consistently refused to condemn Putin's invasion. He appears to admire the Russian dictator's style of rule. He once tried to blackmail Ukraine by withholding military assistance. I told you guys this before. Yeah, he held back 3 years of military assistance in like 2017, 18, and 19 to try and get dirt on Biden for the 2020 election. So it comes as quite a surprise and as an indication of just how bad things have become in the country in recent months, to learn that many senior officials were hoping for a Donald Trump victory, faced with a choice of continued bare life support or a wild card president who would rip up the rules and almost certainly cut aid. They were prepared to gamble. And that's all they'll let us read. Yeah, I'm not doing the paywall. That gets really expensive really fast. So, talking about the nuclear decision again, and North Korean troops again. So not a whole lot of anything new in the news. Looks like Klemensky's air alert went off, but Curzon started 26 minutes ago. Sumi's going on 14 hours now. Yeah, that's all I have for today. If you guys have any questions, comments, now is the time to do it. Now I'm going to catch up on chat really quick. Yeah, let me just double tap on this thing here. Don't worry about Ukraine. It's all good. Trump holds no bounds to love. It will fall for him in the long run. It doesn't fix this feeling we all have right now, mind you. Just give it time. Well, that's a very fair assessment. Before there was even any aid suggested, everybody thought Kyiv was going to fall in 3 days. Even Putin, what was the line? Everybody knows the line from Zelensky in the early days. I don't need a ride, I need ammunition. Ukraine's going to fight whether it has aid or not. They were going to fight whether they had aid or not. They dumped thousands of rifles into the street and told Ukrainian citizens to come pick up a rifle to defend your homeland. And they did. And they were ready. There's documentaries about civilians in Kurdistan grabbing rifles and ambushing Russian convoys. So whether we send them aid or not, they're going to fight. It's not an end of the war. It's not an end of Ukraine. They won't give up. Привет, друзі, привет, Sally. Have a safe drive, Sally. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed the stream. I thank you for coming. I especially thank you for supporting Ukraine. Have a good night. Stay safe, everybody. And razom переможемо.